Our top focus story on India First is the death of 59-year-old Mahant Narendra Giri, head of the Akhara Parishad, who was found dead at his ashram in Prayagraj under mysterious circumstances. Police say he was found hanging. A nylon rope was also found next to his body. His disciples say they had to break open the door to gain access to his room that was locked from inside. Police, of course, maintain that a team from the forensics department has also been called in. They have collected samples. His disciple, Anand Giri, spoke to India Today and insisted he is being framed. The images you see on your television screen are from earlier this year. There was an altercation between the Mahant and his disciple. The disciple, Anand Giri, had been thrown out of the ashram. Then he was called in. He apologized for his behavior, and then the Mahant had forgiven him. Now, let's also quickly listen in to the Prayagraj police. Let's listen in to what they had to say about the alleged suicide note. Apart from that, the Additional Director General Law and Order of Uttar Pradesh Police, Prashant Kumar, spoke exclusively to India Today. Let's listen in.
उनको जहाँ पर वो आश्रम में हैं वहाँ पर पुलिस लगी है और आपको पता होगा किसी को भी अगर पुलिस हिरासत में अपने लेगी तो उसकी एक कानूनी कार्रवाई है। ये है कि अगर वहाँ से अभी वो मूव करना चाहेंगे तो मूव नहीं कर सकते हैं और जैसी टीम पहुँचेगी और प्रॉपर रिक्वेस्ट के साथ फिर वहाँ से स्थानीय थाने को इन्फॉर्मेशन देके लेके आएगी पूरी सुरक्षा में। अभी जब पूछताछ होगी उसके बाद से जिस तरह के तथ्य उभर के आएंगे उसी पे आगे की कार्रवाई की जाएगी। ये बताना इसलिए आवश्यक था कि एक संवेदनशील मसला है और अगर तत्काल रूप से इनको डिटेक्ट नहीं किया जाता तो इससे भी असंतोष फैल सकता था।
सर, आनंद गिरी के अलावा दो लोगों की बात है, ये दो लोग कौन हैं, क्या आशंका जताई गई है?
ये अब वहाँ के जो अधिकारी स्थानीय अधिकारी हैं इस पे कार्रवाई करेंगे। हो सकता है वो वहाँ के स्थानीय लोग हों, इसलिए मुख्यालय से इस तरह का कोई हेल्प नहीं मांगा गया। जो चीज़ें बताई गई हैं उसके आधार पे ही ये सूचना आपको दी जा रही है और सूचना उत्तरांचल पुलिस से शेयर की गई थी।
यहाँ हम लोग जब आए तो देखे कि महाराज को ज़मीन पे लेटे हुए थे और रस्सी फंसी हुई थी और फैन में रस्सी लटकी हुई थी और उनकी मृत्यु हो चुकी थी। इस बात की और हम लोगों को प्रथम दृष्टया जो लग रहा है कि ये आत्महत्या है और उनका सुसाइड नोट भी मिला है जिसमें उन्होंने पूरी बात अपने आश्रम के बारे में क्या करना है, एक तरह से अपना वसीयतनामा लिखा है। हमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन हम कर रहे हैं और जो होगा आगे हम विवेचना से जो होगा हम आगे की कार्रवाई करेंगे।
So what is it that we know so far when it comes to this case? Now, Mahant Narendra Giri was found dead at his mutt in Prayagraj. Police suspect this is death by suicide. Sources say the door was locked from inside. At least that is what his disciples have told the Uttar Pradesh police. The door had to be broken in to gain access to the Mahant, who was found hanging by a nylon rope. Now, according to the Uttar Pradesh police, there is a 7 or an 8-page note which the police are describing as a suicide note. That's been recovered. Now, this mentions that he was mentally disturbed. He was traumatized. Narendra Giri is said to have written, Mahant Narendra Giri is said to have written a will in his suicide note which mentions who will take over this ashram. Now, this point is being contested by his disciple who's currently in the line of fire. Police say the note mentions the name of Anand Giri and some other disciples. Anand Giri, of course, claims that this is a huge conspiracy, that there is a land grab exercise that is currently underway and very powerful people, according to him, are involved in this land grab, and that is why he is being victimized. Anand Giri says Mahant Giri had been tortured because of certain financial dealings that he was not approving of. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Abhishek Mishra, who joins us live for more on the story. We will also listen in to what Anand Giri has to say about this. But Abhishek, what have the forensics team, they visited the ashram, what have initial police investigations revealed?
Well, Gaurav, as per the sources and the police which is there, investigating the whole case now, they're taking the statements of the people who were inside the mud, and the samples have been collected. And so far, you have just heard what the IG has said. He is saying that it looks like it is a suicide, but on the other hand, the police, the ADG Law and Order, has also made it very clear that they have sent a team to Haridwar to detain Anand, and at the same time to take all this thing into consideration. But on the other hand, it looks very puzzled at the moment, because what we are getting to know that from the past couple of days, there was nothing unusual in the mud. But at the same time, getting this suicide note, it is a long suicide note where Acharya Narendra Giri had clearly mentioned what he was going through. He named 3 people. That is very important. Yes, one of his successor, then 2 other people, including the main priest and his associate. So these are the 3 people named who are on the suicide note. But at the same time, police is investigating it. They're not revealing much. They're saying that we need to take the statements first. We need to interrogate.
Here was a very well-respected Mahant. Just yesterday, the Deputy Chief Minister was with him. The India Today team, Rahul Kanwal was there at the Mutt. There was an interview that was happening, and we'll get you details of all of that. Here was a Mahant who was seen as someone who was fiercely independent, someone who spoke from the heart and very strongly. Very recently, when the Yogi Adityanath government took that decision to ban alcohol, the sale of alcohol and meat at religious towns, the first person to react, and very positively, was Mahant Narendra Giri, who said that the respect of temple towns was returning finally. Now, one of his disciples, who's allegedly been detained, Anand Giri, he alleges that there is a wider conspiracy. He's alleged that there is a multi-crore land scam. Now, speaking to Aaj Tak a short while back, he spoke of several bighas of land that had illegally been siphoned off, and something that the Mahant was very unhappy about. Let's listen in.
ये बहुत बड़ा षड्यंत्र है। हम गुरु शिष्य के बीच में कभी कोई विवाद नहीं रहा। ये उन लोगों की साजिश है जो सीधे सीधे मठ और मंदिर का पैसा साजिश के तहत अपने घरों तक पहुंचा रहे थे, जिनका 2000 का भी आमदनी नहीं थी, 5-5 करोड़ के 10-10 करोड़ के जिनके मकान हो गए। जिन लोगों ने सीधे तौर पे गुरुजी को ब्लैकमेल करके जो पैसा कमाया, उन लोगों की ये साजिश है और उस साजिश के तहत उनकी हत्या हुई है। उन्हीं की हत्या में जानबूझ करके मेरे नाम का आना ये षड्यंत्र का स्पष्ट रूप है, जिसमें पुलिस के बड़े अधिकारी भी शामिल हो सकते हैं, जिसके अंदर में कुछ जो लड़के वहाँ के हैं वो भी उसमें शामिल हो सकते हैं। कुछ भी नहीं पता है। मैं गुरुजी की राइटिंग को पहचानता हूँ। उन्होंने जीवन में कभी लेटर नहीं लिखा, और वो जो करते थे स्वयं करते थे, सीधा करते थे। अब उन्होंने लेटर लिखा है तो पहले उनकी राइटिंग को जांचा जाएगा, फिर उसके अंदर के मंतव्य को जाना जाएगा। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि गुरुजी सुसाइड नहीं कर सकते, उनकी हत्या हुई है, और जो भी लोग इसके पीछे हैं उनका बाहर आना बहुत अनिवार्य है।
So Anand Giri currently is at a mutt in Haridwar. The police say they've detained him. We spoke to him a short while back, but he insists he's cooperating with investigations. He says he's being framed by those who, according to him, have written a fake suicide note. And Abhishek, forensic investigations will reveal whether Mahant Narendra Giri had written that 7 or 8 page note, because Anand Giri insists that he never wrote any notes. So will the police be able to compare handwritings? You've been speaking to your sources in the police. Forensic investigations, in which direction are they heading?
Well, absolutely, Gaurav, and that is a very important element of this whole case. They need to look into the matter with the fact that, on first sight, it looks like a suicide. But on the other hand, we have seen how the voices are coming in. Many other saint leaders has clearly said that Acharya Narendra Giri can never do any act like that. And on the other hand, the main accused person whose name is said to be in the suicide note, Anand Giri, is also saying that, you just heard that he has never written a letter in his life, and it is a conspiracy of some people. He is also alleging that some of the, cops could also be involved in it. And at the same time, Mahant Vedanti has also spoke about it. He said that, it is a conspiracy against the community, and there are some people who are trying to capture the mud. But at the moment, it looks like that it will take some time because the police is not revealing the facts. Yes, they are taking all the evidences. Forensic, evidence is very much important because there is no one to, give a statement what was going on, because the conditions were absolutely against the case. There were nobody present in the room. It was locked from the inside. When the police reached at the spot, they found the body lying there, hanging there. Then, all this looks like there are so many, elements and dimensions to this particular case.
Oh, absolutely. And the police, in fact, a short while back, Ramvilas Vedanti also said that Mahant Narendra Giri was a very strong person. He was emotionally very strong. He was mentally very strong. He had conducted several Kumbh Melas. So and he had fought for the Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram temple at Ayodhya. For someone who was so strong, there is no way he could have committed suicide. Now it remains to be seen whether police investigations are able to unravel this mystery. Of course, several political leaders they reacted to this incident. Uttar Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister spoke to India today. He expressed his condolences over the sudden and sad death of Mahant Narendra Giri.
अखाड़ा परिषद के अध्यक्ष के नाते उन्होंने जो नेतृत्व देने का काम किया, मैं तो एकदम निःशब्द। मैं तो व्यक्तिगत तौर से बहुत दुखी, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि जैसे मेरा कोई पिता समान कोई ऐसा संरक्षक, ऐसा मार्गदर्शक चला गया है जिनकी कमी अब कैसे पूरी होगी, मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा। वैसे भी कल के सारे कार्यक्रम स्थगित करके प्रयाग रवाना भी हो रहा, लेकिन महाराज जी का जाना मेरे लिए व्यक्तिगत तौर से भी, पूरे देश के लिए तो है ही, दुनिया के अंदर रहने वाले तमाम भक्त उनके हैं, लेकिन व्यक्तिगत तौर से भी मुझे बहुत ही पीड़ा देने वाला है आज का दिन।
नरेंद्र गिरी जी महाराज जी के रहस्यमय तरीके से इस संसार से जाने को लेकर के हम बहुत स्तब्ध हैं और मुझे यकीन नहीं हो रहा कि एक ऐसा पराक्रमी, जुझारू महापुरुष जो हमारे धर्म, अध्यात्म और संस्कृति की एक बुलंद आवाज थी, वो ऐसे महापुरुष नहीं थे कि ऐसे एक रहस्यमय तरीके से हमारे बीच से चले जाए। तो मैं पूरे साधु समाज की ओर से यह अपेक्षा करता हूं सरकार की से कि इस पूरी घटना की निष्पक्ष जांच हो और पूरे तथ्य और सत्य समाज के सामने आने चाहिए।
And news just coming in, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is to travel to Prayagraj and pay his respects to Mahant Narendra Giri. The Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya, he told India Today he would be travelling in hours from now to Prayagraj. But now the information is that the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also travel to Prayagraj. I once again want to bring in Abhishek for more on this. Abhishek, this actually shows the respect that Mahant Narendra Giri enjoyed. And just a short while back, the Deputy Chief Minister was telling us, while he blessed the Deputy Chief Minister, he said the Yogi, the Chief Minister of UP, is a friend and someone who's a fellow Yogi. So he cannot bless him, he can only wish him all the best.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav, and it is very evident because the kind of personality he was and the kind of contribution he has given, be it for the Ram Temple campaign and all the movement which has happened, and he was continuously, 2 times the president of the Akhara Parishad. He was a very big shot person at the same time. He always has interaction and communication with all the BJP top leaders, be it CM Yogi Adityanath, Deputy Chief Ministers, maybe from the Sangh, from the RSS and from the organization organization, from the BJP, and of course from most of the cabinet ministers, and be it even PM Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. So, we can certainly say, it looks like that it's a big loss to the state, and the government, on the other hand, is very strict about it. We have just heard how Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Maurya has clearly said that there will be a very minute investigation for this particular case, and if there is those who are involved, they will not be spared. He clearly said, and he said his own sentiments and emotions are there with him, and he understands, and he just met him yesterday.
Abhishek, stay with me. Just 2 days ago, India Today's news director Rahul Kanwal traveled to Prayagraj along with Keshav Prasad Maurya. They were doing a session, a special shoot of Jab We Met. This was on the 18th of September. Let me get you some excerpts of that last interview of Mahant Narendra Giri.
आपको वाकई में लगता है कि कुछ काम हुआ है बीते 4.5 साल में?
देखिए, 4.5 साल में काम नहीं, विकास जितना मतलब अन्य सरकारों से तो बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ।
कैसे, क्या हुआ यहाँ?
देखिए, पहली बात आप जाइए, रोड सड़क देख लीजिए, आप गांव की सड़क देख लीजिए, हाईवे देख लीजिए। आप बनारस लगता था 4 घंटा, आज लगता है 1.5-2 घंटा। आप कानपुर चले जाइए, प्रयागराज से कौशाम्बी का जो मार्ग था, वहाँ कभी आप जब गए होंगे तो उस समय लगभग हमें लगता है कि हम वहाँ मेरा खेत भी है, मूरतगंज जाने लगता 2 घंटा लगता था। आज हम अपने खेत में 30 मिनट पहुँच जाता हूँ। तो ये सब विकास दिखता है। दूसरी बात देखिए, हमारा कहना ये है कि गरीबों इस कोरोना काल में 4.5 साल जोड़ा आपने, 1 साल निकाल दिया कोरोना काल के लिए, अब बचा 3.5 साल, और 3.5 साल में जो विकास भाजपा ने किया वो वास्तव में हुआ प्रशंसनीय भी है। और हम लोग संत महात्मा चाहते भी हैं कि विकास के साथ साथ धर्म को जोड़ना भी जरूरी होता है। जो हमारी परंपरा में सनातन परंपरा को लेकर चले वह सरकार अच्छी भी होती है और धर्म के प्रति वो डरती भी है, और जिन्हें धर्म को कोई डर ही नहीं है तो क्या करेगा।
पर क्या साधु संतों का कोई पॉलिटिकल साइड लेना, कोई राजनीतिक पार्टी के पक्ष में इतने खुले तरीके से आना, क्या ये सही है?
नहीं, देखिए, आप सोचिए इस पे। संत महात्मा हम लोग जब घर बार छोड़ के बनते हैं तो देश के लिए बनते हैं, अपने धर्म की रक्षा के लिए बनते हैं। और जो पार्टी कोई भी हो, अगर जो पार्टी हमारे धर्म की रक्षा के लिए और देश की रक्षा के लिए कार्य करती है, उसके साथ संत महात्मा होते हैं। आज अगर और पार्टियां खुल के हमारे सनातन परंपरा का समर्थन करें, राम मंदिर का समर्थन पहले कोई किया नहीं,
अब तो सब कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, अब तो उनकी मजबूरी है, अब तो उनकी दिखावटी मजबूरी, अब तो मजबूरी मान लीजिए उनकी। आप वो जान गए हैं कि जिस तरह से मुस्लिम एक हो रहा है वैसे हिंदू एक हो रहा है, तो उनकी मजबूरी है कि अब वो जानते हैं कि नहीं, मुसलमान को छोड़कर जरा हिंदू तरफ ही आना पड़ेगा, लेकिन वो सफलता नहीं मिलेगी। इसलिए असली चीज़ क्या है? असली चीज़ जो शुरू से रहा वो असली है, और जो अभी जोड़ा तो नकली।